Have you ever wondered why Palestinian refugees are the only group in the world that has remained in refugee status for over 70 years? Or perhaps why the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, UNRWA, is the only UN agency exclusively dedicated to a single group of refugees? If so, you ought to know that there are clear reasons for this, deeply connected to the declared goal of Arab states and Palestinians to eradicate the state of Israel. Since 1949, Palestinian refugees have been cynically used as a bargaining chip in the conflict with Israel. The foreign minister of Egypt at the time openly stated that the goal of not resettling Palestinian refugees was to keep them as a weapon against Israel. This is done through what is known as the right of return, which aims to flood Israel with millions of Palestinian refugees, thereby erasing its Jewish character. Instead of rehabilitating them and granting them a normal life, Arab states preferred to keep them in a state of perpetual refugee status, with the aim of continuing the struggle against Israel. The UNRWA, tasked with managing the Palestinian refugee situation, is a complicit actor in this scenario. As the only body in the world charged with caring for a specific group of refugees, it operates under a completely different mandate from the UN's General Refugee Agency. While the latter aims to find permanent solutions for refugees worldwide, UNRWA has never resettled a single Palestinian refugee. Its role is precisely to maintain the refugee status of Palestinians so that the banner of the right of return can continue to be waved against Israel. Thus, while the world's other refugees receive genuine assistance in rebuilding their lives, UNRWA essentially becomes a partner in the neglect and abuse that Arab states inflict on Palestinian refugees. The money UNRWA receives, over $500 million a year, effectively becomes a machine for perpetuating Palestinian suffering, merely to maintain it as a weapon against Israel. The only solution that would genuinely end the suffering of Palestinian refugees is to close UNRWA and transfer the care of refugees to the UN's regular refugee agency. As with all other cases in the world, this means rehabilitating and integrating them into the countries where they have been residing for decades. Closing UNRWA would also eliminate the possibility of perpetuating the claim of right of return and trying to bring millions of Palestinians into Israel. This is a necessary and just step that would bring about a real improvement in the situation of Palestinian refugees, just as it has happened for all other groups of refugees around the world that have been treated by the UN since World War II. In conclusion, the Palestinian refugee problem is an artificial issue designed to serve political objectives in the struggle against Israel. UNRWA is an integral part of the mechanism that prevents real solutions for refugees and instead preserves them as bargaining chips in the political game against Israel. Closing UNRWA and transferring care to the UN's regular refugee agency is the only necessary step that will bring about a real change for the better in this situation.